Damn, was that a good movie.
What movie? Pokemon I Choose You?
Yes.
Huh. Yeah, I liked the movie too, but it kind of raised a lot of questions and had a lot of implications in it.
Blasphemy!
Well, no, I mean, I still like it, but it does make me ask, like, several questions.
And what might those be, exactly, my friend?
What do you say we do this the way we do all of our random stuff? No! What? What do we both have channels of?
YouTube?
There you go!
Do not patronize me, young man.
If you don't want me making fun of you, don't give me the opportunity.
Alright, well, I'm Christian Lyster-Bradley.
I'm Austin Parkinson.
And welcome to our review of Pokemon I Choose You!
Well, it's not technically a review. I mean, these are just the questions and implications I had since I watched it.
And again you question. And again you just... Yep. Do it. Do your thing.
Okay, anyway. For those of you who don't know what Pokemon the movie I Choose You is, it's basically reimagining Ash's very first start of his journey back in Kanto. But instead of going for the gyms and all that stuff, Ash decides to follow Ho-Oh. And and the main thing is that it's just him and two other characters, and Misty and Brock are not in Ash's company.
Well, that's not completely true. He does go after the gyms.
Well, yeah, true, but that's more of a side thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. His adventure does take more towards a let's find Ho-Oh and become the hero!
Anyway, but here's the thing. Think about all the things that Ash did strictly because Brock and Misty were there. For example, some of the Pokemon Ash came across and later captured and or befriended, he never achieved or never would have achieved if Brock and Misty weren't there.
Fair point.
I mean, think about it. Think of Bulbasaur. Ash and his friends went to the village hidden in the leaves and came across a Bulbasaur who was betrayed by his trainer and was helping take care of Pokemon who were also betrayed by those trainers. They never would have found that if Brock or Missy or whatever hadn't brought it up in the beginning of the episode.
True, but that would mean that Bulbasaur would be able to focus on protecting said village and protecting all of his friends.
Yeah, but
he probably also would have evolved into his next stage in order to further protect them from any harm.
I know, and that's one of the implications, but here's the other one. Think about Professor Oak's lab. During the Johto region, or I think later in the Kanto region, I think it was in Johto, Ash sent Bulbasaur to help Professor Oak deal with feuds between his water and grass type Pokemon that were living in the lab.
Fair enough.
Bulbasaur was the peacekeeper there, remember?
True, but at the time... Well, okay, yeah, that is a good point to you.
And remember, since Misty wasn't there when Ash caught Caterpie in the movie, Ash never was in Viridian Forest long enough to run into the Pidgeotto that he caught. Which means he never got Pidgeot and sent it away too.
True, but that also means that we didn't have to suffer the annoyance of the hardened battle between Metapod and Samurai Metapod.
Well, yeah, but okay, that's a saving grace, but here's the thing. You do have good points, but I'm focusing more on Ash's team-wise and what that means for this movie variant's team and the show's canon team and what would have happened if the anime played out like the movie.
Okay, you make a good point. And even I have to admit that had Ash not had Misty and and Brock, well, actually, getting on that topic, would the Squirtle Squad still have been a thing or not, depending whether or not
I don't know, and that's
Misty and Brock had been around?
I don't know, and that's the thing I was going to get into next, would he have ran into Squirtle Squad? Because they stopped and were just taking a breather from their journey, and then they were walking along and they fell into a hole set by the Squirtle Squad. They probably wouldn't have done that, and since Brock was apparently the navigator, since when Misty and or Ash led, they got lost, and sometimes Brock, but still, Ash never in the movie would have, or off screen, never would have gone down that road or fell down that hole, running into the Squirtle Squad.
Fair point.
And think about how Charmander was raised. In the anime, it took to the Orange Islands before Charizard trusted Ash again and saw him as a worthy trainer. However, in the movie, it was just like Ash accidentally thinking of his Pokemon more as a tool. He apologizes, and then they become best pals again.
So what you're going off of is that it was lazy writing?
Not necessarily. I'm just mainly having all these questions set by these implications that the movie gives. What happened to the Pokemon Ash did caught but never came across in the movieverse? We don't know.
True.
I mean, they could have just lived out their lives.
I was actually thinking in my head while you were saying that, if we didn't get Pidgeotto, then we wouldn't later on get the Pidgeotto evolves into Pidgeot and leads an army of Pidgeys against Spheros.
Yeah. So that means that flock of Pidgeotto and Pidgey would still be in fear of that Pharaoh and his flock of Pidgey.
True.
And now that I think about it, since the new Pokemon movie coming out with like the same Ash and Pikachu from I Choose You,
yeah,
since it's kind of reimagining Pokemon the movie 2000 with the whole Lugia being involved, that makes me wonder if this Ash ran into Heracross.
Let's.
All right, same, different thing.
You and I both know that Heracross is my absolute favorite. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to go into the thought of him not being around.
Okay, good point.
And also him not enjoying the nectar from Bulbasaur's bulb. That's just sad for him.
Anyway, but yeah, that is the point. If Ash and Brock and Misty weren't there, Ash would have either gone to Johto a day later or a day earlier, or somewhat.
True. However,
and he never would have ran into that guy who said that the Pinsir were infringing on the Heracross's territory, so Ash never would have known. He never would have came across Heracross and befriended him and helped the other Heracross get rid of Team Rocket.
Okay, true, but
tree.
I think we're going a little bit off topic here. Now, that all is fine and good, but we don't technically know if not meeting Brock and Misty would have affected his Johto journey.
Well,
I think it would only have affected his Kanto journey.
Well, that's the implication, because Brock and Misty traveled with Ash in Johto too.
Okay.
And Brock with Ash, May, and Max
but the
in
thing of it
Hoenn,
is,
and Dawn and Sinnoh.
But the thing of it is, if they were not with him in Kanto, does that technically mean that the events in the Johto region would not have occurred?
I think it would have, because Brock and Misty played a role in what happened. Think about it. Back in the what was it called?
The Orange Islands?
No.
The
Goldenrod the Goldenrod
contest?
No.
Galleria?
That's it, Galleria. Think about it. They got lost because Brock was so sure that he knew the way there. And it was Misty's idea to go there to go do some shopping, since Ash couldn't have a gym battle because of delays from a previous episode, I imagine.
Okay.
So Ash probably never would have gone there and or ran into Whitney that way.
Maybe.
Because think about it. Brock led them to a dead end, and then Pikachu heard something and ran off toward back the way they came and bumped into Whitney's Clefairy. So Ash never would have ran into Whitney that way. And since they never met, they never would have had that gym battle. And then Ash never would, probably never would have lost and went to Whitney's farm. I mean...
True, but... Wait. I would like to point out that... Well, no...
See, usually...
Team Rocket's a big factor in all of this. Because I'll be the first to say this. Had Misty not been there when Ash got in the water, he would not have taken her bike, ruined it, and then there's a possibility that the whole deal with Team Rocket wanting Pikachu would not have occurred.
It didn't.
Exactly, it didn't.
Yeah, Misty...
So now we don't have to constantly see Team Rocket everywhere.
Well, actually, Team Rocket was already in the area of, what was it, Viridian City?
Yeah, so, but
here's
it's more by mere coincidence.
Yeah, I know, but Misty wasn't there when Ash did get out of the water with Pikachu. Misty, in the anime, fished Ash out and pointed out that there was a Pokemon Center.
Yes, but he stole her bike.
Yeah, so they never... And Misty wasn't there, so they never got into a banter before Team Rocket broke in and tried to steal people's Pokemon.
Okay.
And think about it. In the show, and in most of the movies, Team Rocket plays at least some role, whether it's comic relief or somehow furthering the plot.
I would like to point out, though, the movie does lead you to wonder one thing, though. Would Charizard and Ash, if we had not had what happened in the anime happen, but have the movie happen, would Ash and Charizard have won the Pokemon League? Personally, I think they would have.
Well, yeah.
Because Charizard wouldn't have been a lazy shit disrespecting Ash.
Yeah,
he would have had the fire and determination to kick butt, take down Pikachu, the other Pikachu, Sparky, and just decimated the competition.
Yeah, I know. Because, as I said, Charizard didn't trust Ash or respect Ash in the show until the Orange Islands when he lost to a Poliwrath. Whereas in the movie, Ash was kind of being a little bit of a dick. He realized it, apologized for it, and then they became best pals.
True. Okay, well, you know what? I'll give in on this one that maybe some things did have a lot to do with Brock and Misty.
Yeah, because keep in mind, in the show, they are what kind of pushes Ash to go a certain way. Like,
however, I would like to point out a fact or two.
Sure, go ahead.
On the one hand, Misty is usually a bit of a bully in a sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the show, they have a playful banter. Or
a playful banter at times, but due to her teasing, it does cause Ash to go into reckless situations.
Either that or he's just a typical 10-year-old kid, blinded by his sense of adventure. But I see where you're coming from.
And Brock, he's older than Ash, but he's a bit too lenient when it comes to his reckless streak.
True. I mean,
whereas with the people who were introduced in the movie, there is some playful banter, but there's a lot more empathy toward the fact that Ash is who he is. He's doing what he's doing. He's trying to do the best that he's doing, and there is a relation with the mom and what's going on between them and their mothers.
Yeah, I know.
And the other guy, when he scolded Ash for thinking, because he thought that he had somehow been responsible for Charmander's, illness, he took it upon himself to travel with them and see just how, what made him a legendary hero.
Yeah, and think about it this way. Brock thought the same thing. Remember when in the show it was Charmander's original trainer, Damien, and Brock literally grabbed him by the shirt and got in his face. He was that angry. However, when they brought Charmander to the Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy thought that it was Ash's fault until Brock explained.
True. But there is one thing I'd like to point out. Brock's explanation of it all was, valid. But the difference between the other guy, and Brock is, one's becoming a breeder, the other one's becoming a Pokemon doctor.
Brock did this at the end of the Sinnoh arc. Brock said he was going to go and become a Pokemon doctor.
Well, then I'm all sorts of confused, and I don't know where we're going with this.
Fine. The point is, there are a lot of questions and implications that make you wonder how would the show have played out differently if it played out a lot more like the movie.
Let's move away from the topic of Brock and everything, and Misty and everything.
Well, but there was one last thing I want to add before we move on. Ash mainly stuck around in a certain place, mainly because Brock saw a beautiful woman and then hit on her, and causing them to stick around a lot more and then get involved with their problem to help kind of save their day.
True.
Stuff like that. But since Brock isn't there, that stuff probably never happened. I mean, it probably would have happened in a different way, but it...
Gum?
No, thanks. But still.
Okay, you got a fair point. But there are times when Brock's desire to go after a woman does kind of get old.
Well, yeah, of course, but still.
Keeping in mind, everyone, I'm not picking on Brock. I'm just saying there are...
Yeah, same.
He could be different, but he could also be good for certain,
yeah,
all that.
And before we move on away from Misty and Brock, remember when Ash first started in the Hoenn region? Ash, May, and Max were getting attacked by a flock of Tailo. Brock's fortress used explosion and sent them packing.
Okay, true, but they could have just ran away and probably...
They were running away.
Yeah, but they could have just outmaneuvered. Brock's appearance in that specific situation was very appreciated, but probably not quite necessary.
They were out of food.
They would have ran back into a town.
Yeah,
you run far enough.
Yeah, but Max,
that way away from danger, you're gonna end up in a city.
Yeah, but Max said it was some odd miles and would have taken some odd hours before they reached town, and they were all starving.
True.
Ash ran out of...
Running at full speed, you're gonna get...
Yes.
The adrenaline pumping, you're gonna run...
Yes.
Okay, I'll just...
However...
You're not gonna drop... okay.
However, they would have ran out of energy. With no fuel in their bodies, they would have burned out and collapsed. And since Ash ran out of Pikachu... food for Pikachu, and Pikachu was adorably sad because of it, you know what, moving on.
Okay.
But you do see where I'm coming from, right?
I see where you're coming from. I'm just saying, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, they're both different.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing, you're making it sound like I don't enjoy the movie because of all these questions and implications. I actually do love the movie.
I'm not saying any of that, I'm just... The way I'm talking makes it sound like that.
Yeah, I know, and I understand that, but the viewers might think that too, but here's the thing, I do love the movie. I mean, we've wondered what would have happened if Pokemon had no Pokemon in it, at least for, like, a second thought. Like,
okay,
what would life be like if Pokemon weren't a thing in this world, and then we would just forget about it and go back to catching our insert Pokemon name here, or battling this person here.
Okay, well, I think there's one thing you and I can agree on. The movie over the anime had the better rival.
It depends. Ash had several different rivals throughout the entirety of the anime. However, this rival in the movie was the biggest jerk.
While being the biggest jerk, he gave Ash the best drive in order to prove him wrong and train his Pokemon to make that point.
I know, but keep in mind, so did Gary, and so did Paul.
True, but Gary
teased Ash kind of like an older brother.
Yes, but it was that teasing that did make
Ash eventually beat him in the Johto League.
Yes, but it also caused him to run recklessly into situations.
Yeah, and then Gary later became a professor.
Like that one time when he heard that Gary had caught 30 or 45 Pokemon, and then went on that expedition to try and catch Mankey, which then turned into a Primeape, which then caused a big old mess with Brock,
especially
getting trampled.
Especially when Ash saw how big Gary's Krabby was to his.
Exactly. And guys, I know you're thinking that's an innuendo, but you gotta watch it all.
That. They probably weren't thinking that.
Well, can I have my moments?
No. But here's the thing. The animation in the movie was stunning. It was beautiful when it was showing that they... And me being a big animation and art lover, the symbolism they used, like when Ash was in that parallel, was dreaming and there were no Pokemon in it until he saw Pikachu running out of the corner of his eye and decided to chase after him. And even when Ash was dead for the umpteenth millionth time in the franchise, Ash's colors and his surroundings were lifeless and gray until he saw a faint show of Pikachu running and he started chasing after him, and color came back one by one. And the animation was beautiful and showing how much Pikachu cared by jumping into the coloring portal, I guess, to help Ash get back. That shows not only furthers the point of how much Pikachu cares about Ash, but it also, think about this. How many times watching the anime, or either it being the show or previous movies, did you wonder what Pikachu and the other Pokemon were saying? On that cliff scene before Ash died and Pikachu talked, we don't know if that was Pikachu actually talking or if that was heard from Ash's perspective, because in the show and in the movies, Ash has been seen to understand what his Pokemon, especially Pikachu, is saying.
Okay, well, you realize you're kind of making a point toward... Actually, I really don't know what point you're making. I just want to say that the movie actually had the better bonding moment between Pikachu and Ash.
Of course, I mean...
And guys, by that, I mean...
Pikachu was less of a dick?
I do mean that when Pikachu and Ash were getting chased by the Spearow, in both the anime and in the movie, there were some heartwarming moments. But the way Pikachu looked at it in the movie, the way they portrayed it, it was beautifully done, and it showed a lot more character and emotion than it did in the anime.
Yeah, because...
Although, granted, the budget was different back then as for movies, but everyone can understand my point.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I find it so funny because they gave modern Pikachu's look, but with kind of the original Pikachu's attitude. Like in the first episodes, of the anime, kind of chubby. Yeah, Pikachu was chubby, and they show it as Pikachu losing weight the more he walks because he doesn't like going in his ball. But here's the thing. Pikachu, in the beginning of the anime, was a dick. He laughed at Ash constantly. He wanted nothing to do with him.
And no child will ever know.
You know, unless they watch it on Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. Pikachu was kind of like that big of a dick in the movie, kind of, until Ash said that, "You don't like me, but I really like you," and then he went on that whole spiel, and then Pikachu, something sparked, no pun intended, and Pikachu started warming up to Ash in the movie. It took Ash nearly dying to protect Pikachu in the show before Pikachu decided to trust Ash.
Motions within motions.
Yeah, Pikachu trusted Ash faster in the movie than in the show, which I guess you could argue was because of limited time, but I really do like that. It showed that even though Pikachu didn't really want to do anything with this kid, he still wanted to, like, give him the benefit of the doubt and did show to actually have it.
Okay. I'll admit there are... Okay. I don't know what I'm admitting, but I just...
That there are questions and implications.
There are questions and implications, but I will say this, because it's probably something that you can't disagree with, and they can't disagree with either. Mm. The movie had the better legend.
Kind of, but...
I mean, they brought back the implication, or the story of how Entei, Raikou, and Suicune lost their lives, and then were given back life by Ho-Oh, which kind of makes me think Ho-Oh is more of a god than Arceus. Comment below if you think so. But the fact that they actually decided to put in the legend of the Rainbow Hero, which kind of makes me think several different things given our modern age.
Yeah, but I do see where you're coming from with this. My question is, why... Okay, so remember in the trailers leading up to the movie, it showed that Marshadow would have played a big part in it.
He didn't play much of a part.
In the trailers, it showed that Marshadow would have been like along with Ash on his journey.
I would have thought he would. No,
but here's the thing.
Well, that's not what I thought. I thought Marshadow would have been kind of like a villain.
Well, think about. Okay, anyway, to each his own. In the other, but the holder, yada yada yada. But I saw it as, oh, Marshadow, the newest legendary or mystical Pokemon or whatever from Alola is going to be like, because it showed Marshadow coming in and out of Ash's shadow, and it was that scene on with Ash and his new traveling companions on that cliff, and Marshadow was in the same shop. So it looked like Marshadow would have been like there from the very beginning, like he would have bumped into Ash early on, liked Ash, and decided to travel with him. But Marshadow did literally nothing until the climax of the film, when that rival guy who stole the what's it called, the Rainbow Wing?
Yeah, Rainbow Wing.
Yeah, the Rainbow Ring from Ash, and it went pitch black and angered Marshadow. And Marshadow was blinded by his rage, but didn't know that until the Rainbow Wing disappeared after Ash was dead. Dead. Sorry.
Alright, well...
How long is this? 27 minutes and 17 seconds. Huh, you weren't complaining about the time this...
If there's one thing that I think we can agree on, it's that the rival in the movie did have a better awakening than any of the others.
True, when the mountain Pokemon were... Although, to debate on what I said, he did have the more fucked up, leading up to version of awakening. Yeah, I know, which kind of makes his redemption like a lot more believable, because...
Yeah, a lot more lacking, to be honest, in my
Wow!
Because it literally took him almost dying...
Yeah, and that's...
by Marshadow, and then probably to a lesser extent, Ho-Oh itself, to get him to realize how much of a dick he really
here's the
is.
thing. His thing was, Pokemon are tools to him. But here's the thing.
Well, same can be said for Paul.
Let me finish.
Fine.
Anyway, yes, Paul did think the same thing, but here's the thing. It took Ash beating Gary in the Johto League before he and Gary started to become more like friends rather than frenemies. And it took Ash beating Paul in the Sinnoh League before Paul stopped being that big of a dick to Ash. Sure, he was still a little bit of a dick, but not as big as
Can the same be said for Trip?
Yeah, kind of. Well, technically, Trip's main thing was he didn't like Ash because
he's from the boonies.
Yeah, which is what people from Unova call the...
No, that's what the Dick's Head called the people from...
I don't care. And he saw Ash having a Pikachu as him flaunting it. Even though in the Unova region it was shown that they have a Kanto festival. Well, they see and honor the Pokemon from Kanto.
Well, the point of it is...
So he's kind of a hypocrite.
Okay, the point of it is, I think we can both agree that rivals do have their... We can agree on the rivals and disagree at the same time.
I know, but this is me with your point about how you thought that the movie's rival was redemption wasn't that good. But here's the thing. You seem to have forgotten something. When Marshadow was over Rage and he hypnotized and felt all the mountain Pokemon with Rage 2, the rival's Lycanroc was also mind controlled. And it also tried to kill his trainer. And when because here's the thing, when people reach a certain rock bottom and they have an epiphany of what led to them being at rock bottom, they immediately want to start changing, which is believable. Whether it's in books, animes, movies, or heck, even in real life. And keep in mind, he did try to help the others once things started going down.
Only because he wanted it to stop. He didn't want to die, I think.
And did they? Also, I do kind of love how that old guy who Ash and friends ran into with earlier in the movie, who was there near the end, leading them up the mountain. I do love how he had Red's hat from the original Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't? There were like pictures about it, how that could have been Red. Like
I don't watch spoilers. I don't watch theories. I enjoy the movie and then I make my own theories. Same. Okay, well, anyway, I think we can both agree that we do have different points on the movie, and there are several questions that need to be answered or looked at more thoroughly.
Well, kind of, but it's more like the implications that the movie gives off makes you ask these questions that we probably will or will not get an answer to. But here's the thing, that's kind of the fun.
It is the fun. Like, okay, here's several questions.
Would Ash run into the same Pokemon as he did in the show? That too.
Would he or would he have not won the Pokemon League?
Leagues, plural.
Leagues. Would he or would he not go on to be a hero in more Pokemon's eyes?
Well, here's the thing, because since we don't know if Ash won the championship in Kanto, he could have, because here's the thing. Remember back when he beat the Battle Frontier?
Yeah, I remember. What?
Give it.
What are you, a teacher now?
Remember when Ash beat the Battle Frontier and they offered to have him become a Frontier Brain?
I would have taken the opportunity in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but Ash didn't, because Ash loved to travel and wanted to see more of the world and gain more experience and level up his Pokemon more. He couldn't have done that if he had to stick around a certain area.
Not technically.
I mean, yeah, I know what you're going to say. Some of the gym leaders and some of the Frontier Brains, Elite Four members, yada, 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 also travel around.
Yeah, Brandon does have his cool
flying pyramid. That is pretty cool.
I love his title, The Pyramid King.
Yeah. Anyway, but here's the thing. I think, because Ash, in the show he did take his Pokemon training seriously, and I mean, flashback to Hoenn when
I don't know if he took it very seriously.
Well, here's the thing. He did take it seriously because when he first battled the fighting type gym leader in Hoenn, he lost because his Pokemon were too impatient. So what did he do? He and his Pokemon at that time, which included Pikachu, of course, Trico, Tailo, and his newly caught Corphish, sat at a cliff and waited for waves to pass, and they had to move out of the way. Ash has done... And think back to all the training he did with the Greninja in the Kalos region.
Okay, well...
But here's the thing. Ash took his travel to beat the gym leaders and battling apparently a lot more seriously in the movie. But
he did. However, I would like to point this one thing out, though. When it came to training, Ash decided to make it fun.
True.
He chose to make it fun, but that's just not how most training works. Training is meant to be hard work, and yes, you can add a certain fun element to it, but if there's too much fun, the training is severely gonna crumble in its effect.
Every experience can be a learning experience. That's how I view training. But here's the thing. Ash seemed to take it a lot more seriously, like how, say, a person playing the game would take it seriously.
Okay, you got a fair point there.
I was gonna point something else out, but I think I forgot what it was.
Okay, well, I think you and I can agree. Well, I think I had a point, but then again, the anime... I was going to say, the difference between the anime and the movie is that there were a bit more encounters with legendaries. And by that, I mean there were more encounters with legendaries, like you would in a game. Like, oh, there's Entei. I'm going to try to catch it. Oh no, it fled away.
Yeah, and I did kind of find that funny how they were keeping true to the game like that. Like, Entei, and then attack, and then it just leaves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're attacking me. You're going to try to catch me. See ya, fuckers. And then just wanders off.
Exactly. That's true to the game, whereas the anime, not so much.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like, who the hell uses Iron Tail to break up the ground and uproot an opponent?
Well, that's the thing. The anime and movies can get away with that because they're not limited to the whole hit or miss thing.
Okay, true.
And think about it this. Okay, in the Sun and Moon anime, when Ash and his Aluminum friends battle Misty and Brock is the referee while Ash is battling Misty and her Mega Gyarados. Pikachu is trapped in I think it was like Twister or something, and he used Thunderbolt, but it didn't work, so Ash told Pikachu to use Quick Attack and use the electricity at Splitting, and it cut to Brock, and he said, just like you, Ash.
Which is not how physics work.
It's an anime involving mutant plants, animals, and objects.
Okay, well, I can still try to bring some science and reality into it. Okay.
Suspension of disbelief.
Okay, well, I think we've made good points.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten to all the questions. Have we or have we not?
And tip of the iceberg, but this video, we can have this as a stopping point. If you want to hear more questions and answers and us going back and forth trying to answer them with our best opinion, comment down below.
And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you would like to see more content from my boy Austin Parkinson. I am merely a guest. If you want to try to find my channel, he'll try to link it, maybe I'll just...
On my channel, I actually do have like a list of my friends who...
Okay, well then there you go. There you go. He's got me on his list. You want to come see my videos, go ahead. Oh, it might be a little... Can I just say something?
I'm not stopping you.
I would like to say that I am actually very pleased because recently a video I had done a year ago recently hit 100 views. That's not big to many people, but considering how small my channel is, 100 views is actually very impressive to myself, and it just warms my heart that my video was actually popular enough or pleasing enough for people to have viewed it 100 times or for 100 people to view it.
I just like it if people view my videos like 10 times.
Well, yeah, but you gotta understand, I want more views because I want more people to see my content and
bring joy and information to others. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I have the same thing, but like I'm just honored that people actually see my videos and just click on them.
Okay, yeah, that's he's got his reasons. I've got mine.
They kind of overlap.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, like, comment,
yada yada yada,
share with a friend. This has been Chris and Lyster-Bradley.
And Austin Parkinson.
Good day, good night, and good fortune to you all. You need a shorter outro.
Indeed I do. So, I'll just use the one I normally use. Onwards and upwards, Allons-y. For those of you who don't know, Allons-y is French for... Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm gonna start writing out new outros.
Good idea.
See ya.